I'm very petty.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Bill and Matt. And
It's Matt and Bill. It's not Bill and Matt.
Buddy.
Fucking get your shit together.
My name alphabetically comes first.
I bought mics and a camera and all this stuff so that we could do this. My name comes first.
It's mine. I own it.
I brought Mr. Pineapple, so it's Matt and Bill.
Notice how I'm drinking PBR?
Yeah, because you didn't know there was going to be Mr. Pineapple coming through the door.
Anyway, we've been absent for a while, and that's because, the world ended.
The world is ending.
It's ending.
Right now, as we're talking. I just dropped off people at protests.
Yep.
Why am I not at the protest?
He's too white.
Not that I'm too white. It's just, if I go to jail,
people suffer.
My kids don't eat.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
If I go to jail,
you have no excuse for being down here except for your North Dakota roots, which might
honestly I have a really good excuse for not going to protest, and that's being a coward. That would be it.
Fair. Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Yep. I don't want to go fight the police. Do I think the police are doing good things in the world? Fuck no, not at all. Children are afraid of the police. Like cops used to be like people that you would look to for safety, and now it's not. I don't feel the same way.
I have a different experience with police in my life. Much different. I grew up with a father who did not like the cops because he came from 60s, 70s era protesting. Like, he was a teenager during that time frame.
Yeah.
Then, as an adult attorney, he had several clients in which he sued the local police department multiple times for brutality.
Yeah, for their
against
treatment.
White people.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's Payson.
There's 5 black people there, but cops just beat the shit out of people.
Cops like hitting people.
For no fucking reason.
Cops like their authority.
Yeah.
And it's just that, okay, it's a race issue right now. Yeah, it is. It really is. But at the same time, like, if you put authoritarian people in a position of power, they will always exercise that power over a population that they feel cannot combat them. And in major cities, it's black people. And that's fucking awful.
I mean, I feel like you just made that up.
No, because, I mean...
The rest of my story goes this way.
Okay.
As a child, also, because we lived in a cult, the town police department hated us. The sheriff's department hated us.
As they should have.
And they never came when we called them. Like, when, the kids were getting, run off the road by fucking trucks and shit, and people were getting threatened, they never showed up. So... But they did show up when we were, having a good time, and they would show up and ruin our good time. So I had to, train myself as an adult to, try to be respectful and think outside of the lines of what I was shown and learned as a child. And now recently I'm just like, you know what? We don't need it. It's fucking garbage. They treat people like shit. It's the shit that's going on right now is heartbreaking. I've gone back and forth between crying and being enraged. So... I'm donating money.
Good for you.
I'm voting for people who don't support racism and bigotry.
Definitely.
And, in Arizona, there's a lot of people we got to get rid of.
We do have a choice coming up in the next election. And honestly, I've cast protest votes in the past where I, vote for Mickey Mouse or whatever. And this year, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden because, he's just the lesser of two evils. Our bipartisan system is broken, but obviously putting a fucking madman in charge has just really killed us. So
it was a terrible experiment.
Oh, God. Honestly, we're here. It's fucking it's the beginning of June, and I see a state of martial law happening in our country. I see this small-dicked ginger fuck declaring himself dictator of the country, and he's already activated military.
He's not a ginger.
He's a ginger.
He's not a ginger
He's
at
a
all.
fucking ginger.
His hair's basically white. What are
His
you
hair's
talking about?
orange.
It's not orange.
He's orange.
His face is orange.
His hair was orange.
His hair's not orange.
All right.
His hair is
this
is,
ginger,
is white.
this orange
yellow.
face fuck. Okay.
Okay, orange face
We call him an orange face fuck.
Yeah. Did you see those documents that came out? I don't mean to laugh about it, but it's just it adds to the insanity of everything else that's been going on. The documents that came out of the girl who filed 2 lawsuits against Epstein and Trump for sexually fucking assaulting her when she was 13 years old. It lays out pretty clearly 5 instances in which she was with Trump as a 13-year-old.
Well, I mean, he was his buddy in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was his buddy in the 90s.
And as well as performing sex acts on another 12-year-old. Rape.
And I'm sure that Epstein didn't kill himself.
No. Yeah, Epstein certainly didn't kill himself.
Definitely did not. I didn't follow that case at all when it was happening. But I watched...
They got dismissed. Both of them got dismissed. She filed...
I mean like the whole like Epstein going down and then Epstein dying thing.
Epstein didn't go down.
He did go down. He was in custody when he killed himself.
He was in jail. The trial didn't happen.
No.
This was just... All that had happened is they had found his shit from Florida, from the DA in Florida, who got put into a White House position after he buried this case. Okay?
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Fuck.
So the only reason this got found out is everyone was like, hey, this asshole in the White House buried this case of this guy who was prostituting and child sex trafficking kids.
Whose office did he work for in the White House?
He worked for fucking Trump. He worked for Trump.
Oh, Trump, he denounced him. He denounced him.
This guy worked for Trump. Through that, they discovered Epstein. The New York District Court, whichever one, I think it's the 9th District or whatever, they picked up charges and were able to charge him with shit. Took him into custody, and he died in jail waiting for a trial.
Yep.
Yeah, he was murdered.
Yep.
So, like... It's fucking, yeah.
Here we are.
Remember when Tiger King came out? Remember when this was fun? Remember when it was just like a weekend? It was like, fuck.
Everything's okay.
I'll watch Netflix, I guess. Yeah. I'm going to play some video games, watch Netflix.
I'm going to catch up on my shows.
Take some time for myself. I really have been running ragged, burning it at both ends.
Yep.
Going to chill out.
Here we are.
Fucking.
Everything's on fire. And you know what?
It should burn. I'm like, let's burn it all down. I'm fine with it. Like, I don't care. I'm not attached to anything.
If it all burns, I will say this. If it all burns down, everybody with a student loan doesn't have a student loan anymore. I'm just saying that.
Listen, I would.
I'm not saying burn it all down, FBI. This is not a call to action. Okay? I'm a blue ribbon boy. All-American.
Blue Ribbon Boy. Is that some kind of new group?
Yeah.
Is it some kind of new Antifa group?
No, we're not Antifa. Don't say their names!
No, it's Antifa! That's the thing. There's no such thing as Antifa.
No, it's a fucking... It's
a made-up thing.
It's a fucking hoax,
you know
what Antifa is.
Antifa means anti-fascist. That's what Antifa is short for. You know who was anti-fascist? The fucking soldiers in World War II who were trying to fucking free the world from Germany's grasp.
Yeah.
All right? Let's fucking chill out, you retards. Also, it seems like it's pretty cool to say retard again. I don't know.
It's fine.
A lot of people are saying retard, so
it's fine.
I'm slowly working it back into my vocabulary. Sorry,
honestly,
guys. I mean...
If you're offended, you're a retard.
I'm retarded, okay? I can say it because I'm retarded. I was retarded by my upbringing and growth. A lot of my development,
you were slowed.
A lot of my development was retarded.
It was slowed.
And so, as a tard, I'm reclaiming the retard word.
I'm a tard fucker. I've had sex with many people like Matt. And
wait a second, you don't get. That's first of all, that sounds like rape.
Well,
second of all, you don't get to rape my people.
By Matt,
you don't get to rape my people and take our words.
I mean Matt. That I've had sex with. Anyway, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm done with the words or anything. I will say that I'm still firmly against the N-word, but
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, like
And
retard.
and honestly, that's
done.
Based on
Retard
your
isn't
background,
talking
it's
about a
big
person
step.
with mental disabilities. That's not what people are talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Did you watch the Louis C.K. special that came out during all this?
It did? No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
It's very funny.
Really?
Oh God.
Good
so
for
funny.
Lulu.
That's so funny.
Good for that. Good for that fucking
So funny.
gross piece of shit. He is hilarious though.
So funny.
You know what?
He is. He's really funny. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing.
He's so fucking funny.
Here's the thing. With a lot of intelligence, and it takes a lot of intelligence to be a really good comic. Like, the smartest people that I know are also the funnier comics.
Thank you.
Thank
you. I appreciate it.
Present company notwithstanding.
That's the
Andy. I'm
sweetest thing
thinking.
you've
I'm
ever
thinking
said
like
to me.
Andy Steinberg or a Corey Michaelis or Jim Jeffries, or there's very intelligent people. Joe Rogan. Anyway,
I mean, fine, whatever. It's fine. You don't have to say it.
he does have a Juris Doctorate.
I don't
from
run,
a university that has gone out of business.
Not a university.
College.
It's College of Law.
College of Law. So it's not even as good. They're not incorporated as a university because they don't have enough fucking clout. Anyway.
Any law school you go to is a college of law.
Is it?
It's just attached to a university.
Okay.
Just like the rest of the schools there, like the School of Business, the School of Architecture, Medical School,
So,
School of
fuck your
Mythology.
goddamn academia bullshit. We're here to do something that's fun.
Yeah?
So the world's on fire.
World's on fire. How about yours?
And
That's the
we're
way I
back
like it.
because I'm finally not depressed anymore. I am, but I'm battling it. It's relative.
He's still
relative
pretty
depression.
depressed.
But I can't sit around anymore. So I want to read Matt some stories.
Let's read me stories.
And the book I've chosen to start with, the stories I've chosen, is Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology, which was recommended to me by my brother Dan.
I just want to go ahead and put this in here. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not licensed. I don't pretend to be an attorney in any way.
Yeah.
I don't give legal advice. However, sometimes, hypothetically speaking, situations pop up, and
This is not illegal.
I might.
This
chime
isn't
in.
illegal.
I might chime in and say, "Hey, Bill, maybe we have a trademark issue on our hands
We don't.
here." But I'm just saying.
We fall under fair use. I invoke the powers of fair use.
I don't think he knows what that means. But I'm just.
It's like Wonder Twin powers,
I'm gonna
right?
let him run with it just to see what happens.
It'll work. Anyway, so we're reading Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology as recommended by my brother Dan, and I'm reading this to Matt because you're Mr. Viking. So
I am a Viking.
Yeah.
Go to thebeardstruggle.com and use code MCWalker for 15%
Boom!
off of your beard needs.
do it.
Brand Viking over here. I'll take the money. I'll buy Mr. Pineapple. I'll get Bill drunk. It'll be a great time.
By the way, I get to drink again, guys, because I made it a year. I
did.
beat Brian in the bet. He can go fuck himself.
Whoa.
Well, I mean,
Intense.
he can. He likes it. Okay, so we're gonna start. Disclaimer: I don't read well. I don't read.
What? If you don't read well, Jesus Christ.
I need to get
Good.
better at it, so that's why we're doing this.
This is what we're doing.
It's gonna be pain. And even better is I'm drunk, so like as I'm trying to look at these words. Okay. Before the beginning.
You can't even see. You have the worst sight. Do you even have your contacts in right now?
I do.
Fucking
I
Christ.
should be wearing glasses. I should be wearing my glasses. Okay. Ugh. I don't even know what to do. Okay. Before the beginning, there was nothing. No earth, no heavens, no stars, no sky. Only the mist world, formless and shapeless, and the fire of the world was always burning. To the north was Niflheim, the dark world. Here, elven poisonous rivers cut through the mist each spring from the same well at the center of it all. Roaring maelstroms called Hevergermir. Nilfheim was colder than cold, and the murky mist cloaked everything heavily.
This is a great time to take a pause. You're murdering my people's language, and I don't like it.
Do you know how to read these words?
Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Yes.
Well, you're gonna have to. You can read the next story then. The skies were hidden by mist, and the ground was clouded by chilly fog. To the south was Muspel. Muspel was fire. Everything there glowed and burned. Muspel was the light where Niflheim.
Do you think they mean that?
Niflheim?
Do you think they mean that it was fire, like it was actual fire, or like they were like, "Yo, that shit's fire, dog"?
I think it was actual fire. I think
that's
it was
cool
like,
too.
Like real, like fire.
Do you think this is where that came from? From ancient
It might
Norse
have.
mythology?
That shit was fire?
Yeah, they just started. They just brought it back. How many years ago was this? Do we know?
I mean, this is the Dawn Age.
Yeah, but do we have like
The beginning of everything.
Christians believe that it was 6,000 years ago. Scientists believe that it was
I don't
billions
know
of years
that
ago.
the Norse ever laid down an actual like amount of years for when their creation myth happened. We'll find out.
Okay.
Okay. Muspel was the light where Niflheim was gray. Molten lava where the mist world was frozen. The land was aflame with the roar of heat of a blacksmith's fire. There was no solid earth, no sky, nothing but sparks and spurting heat, molten rocks and burning embers. In Muspel, at the edge of the flame, where the mist burns into light, where the land ends, stood Surtur, who exists before the gods. He stands there now. He holds a flaming sword, bubbling. The lava and the freezing mist are as one to him. It is said that at Ragnarok, which is the end of the world, and only then, Surtur will leave his station. He will go forth from Muspel with his flaming sword and burn the world with fire. And no one by the one God, the gods will... and no one by one the gods will fall before him. And one by one the gods. Fuck.
You may be dyslexic. I'm not positive,
I think I am.
but
I've always thought I am.
Yeah.
I mess numbers up sometimes if I'm not really concentrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little... It's hard.
Go ahead.
That's why
Go ahead,
this is why I like audiobooks.
Yeah, no, listen, it makes sense. Like, you were talking about audiobooks earlier. I was like, fuck audiobooks. But now I'm like, okay, I get it.
Between Muspel and Niflheim was a void, an empty place of nothingness without form. The rivers of the mist world flowed into the void, which was called... Fuck. Ginninum Gap.
Fuck.
Ginninum Gap. Ginnungagap.
When you told me
Ginninum Gap.
when you told me you were gonna read a book about Norse mythology, like I totally didn't take into account what they name everything.
I did.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. That's looks like something that's coming through. I'm like, fuck.
Okay, Ginninum Gap. The yawning gap.
Oh yeah.
Over the time beyond measure, These poison rivers in the region between fire and mist slowly solidified into huge glaciers. The ice in the north of the void was covered in the frozen fog and pellets of hail, but the south, where the glaciers reached the land of fire, the embers and the sparks from Muspel met the ice, and warm winds from the flame lands made the air above the ice as gentle and as comfortable as a spring day.
Sounds wonderful.
That's great imagery.
Yeah. I like a good spring
That's
day.
nice. That must be where Bisbee started.
A spring day?
Well, Bisbee's like the most even temperature.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like 78 degrees more days out of the year
I've
than.
never been to Bisbee.
It's very nice.
Yeah. You know who was just in Bisbee?
Kristen, my landlord.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Shane Gillis was hanging down at...
Who?
Shane Gillis? Oh, dude, Shane Gillis is so funny.
Shane Gillis, like the guy who got in trouble on SNL for
Yeah.
the Asian thing.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
He's so funny.
He's a very funny man.
He's doing okay.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like
He just spent like a month down
everybody
at
started
Stanhope's.
fucking with them after they were like, "Oh, he's not on SNL because he's actually a comic." Cool, let's look at his shit.
Oh, people were like... I mean, it might have brought him more views, but like... He's been like friends with like all those New York guys for a while, and
Yeah.
like on all their shows,
Yeah.
like Bonfire and shit. So funny though. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. You gotta check out that.
Follow that shit.
They have the guys from Cumtown. Have you ever listened to Cumtown?
I have not. I'm not
they're
familiar
all
with
friends.
Cumtown.
Cumtown's a good podcast.
I'm not a Cumtown. I'm not a kumquat.
A kumquat? I don't think they say that. I don't think they say that at
They
all.
might.
They're ridiculous.
They should. It should be their. That should be what they call themselves. Kumquats.
No,
That's what their fans should call themselves.
it's not true. No, this is true.
Matt's a kumquat.
I'm a cum dumpster.
Yeah, we know you're very large.
That's not what it means. It means I'm full of cum, Bill. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you?
No, it means you're big. See, I'm a cum trash can because I'm smaller than Matt.
I mean, yeah, you're smaller than me, but whatever. Dick.
Where the ice and the fire melt, where the ice and the fire met, the ice melted, and the melting waters, life appeared. The likeness of a person, bigger than the world's, huger than any giant there will be or has ever been. This was neither male nor female, but was both at the same time.
Ooh.
Very progressive Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Fucking
Dicks
hermaphrodite.
Dicks and giners.
First hermaphrodite within 31 pages. Granted,
All-
it does have a very long prologue.
All the goodies. All the bits and baskets.
This creature was the ancestor of all the giants, and it called itself Ymir, which, little anime tie-in, is probably where they got the idea for the start of Attack on Titan. Ymir. That's a whole thing. Check out Attack on Titan. It's good shit. The people that can grow into the giants that are titans are called the people of Ymir. Ymir being the first one who grew into a giant. Is the whole like plot of Attack on Titan. Spoiler alert! At the end.
Sounds awful.
Yep. It's hard to read.
When you're dyslexic, yeah, it's difficult. You want me to take over?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ymir was not the only living thing to be formed by the melting of the ice. There was also a hornless cow, more enormous than the mind could hold.
I can't even imagine what that would
It's
be
a
like.
very large cow.
My mind can't hold it. That's what I'm saying.
It's a
That's how big it
it's a
is.
Mama June-sized cow. She licked the salty blocks of ice for food and for drink, and the milk that ran from her forerudders flowed like rivers. It was this milk that nourished Ymir. The giant drank the milk and grew. Ymir called the cow A duhamula. A duhamula.
Fuck.
Fuck, how do you say that? God damn these Icelandic fucks.
I would have to see it.
That's who wrote this shit, by the way. All Norse mythology, or most of it, came from Iceland. Fun fact.
Is that a fun fact?
It is a fun fact. The cow's pink tongue licked from people the blocks of ice. The first day, only a man's hair. The second, his head. And the third, the shape of a whole man was revealed.
I thought you were going to say cock.
No, whole man.
I was positive day 3 was when the cock came. And then day 4 was legs and everything else. But
I mean, this is the Norse. It's not the Greeks.
that's true.
This was Buri, the ancient of the gods. Ymir slept, and while it slept, it gave birth. A male and a female giant were born from beneath Ymir's left arm. A six-headed giant was born from its legs. From these, Ymir's children, all giants are descended.
Wow.
So
He's got a lot of vaginas. It has a lot of vaginas.
It has.
They.
How dare you?
They have a lot of vaginas.
Let's respect the pronouns of Ymir, the ancestor and architect of all giants.
They have a lot of vaginas. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, who knew?
That's wild. So armpits are also fuckable. Everybody.
Armpits do look like vaginas.
You can fuck an armpit.
Yeah, I mean they do.
I've heard of Christians having sex in the armpit
with the hair
Yeah.
and just like you put it in a certain. Yeah, I can see that.
All right. Buri took a wife from among these giants.
Oh, he took a wife.
So Buri is the salt guy, and
The
they had
salt guy.
and they had a son whom they called Bor. Bor married Bestla, daughter of a giant, and together they had 3 sons: Odin, Vili, and V. Odin and Vili and V, the 3 sons of Bor, grew into manhood. They saw, as they grew, far off the flames of Muspel and the darkness of Niflheim. But they knew that each place would be death to them. The brothers were forever trapped in Giganum Gap. The vast gap between the fire and the mist. They might as well have been nowhere. All right. There was no sea and no sand, no grass, no rocks, no soil, no trees, no sky, no stars. There was no world, no heaven, no earth at this time. The gap was nowhere, only at the empty place waiting to be filled with life and with existence. It was the time for creation of everything. V and Vili and Odin looked at each other and spoke of what was needful to do. There in the void of Giganum Gap.
Sex stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They spoke of the universe and of life and of the future. Odin and Vili and V killed the giant Ymir.
What?
It had to be done.
Whoa.
There was no other way to make the worlds.
That's disrespectful. That is
This was the beginning of all things. The death that made all lives possible. They stabbed the great giant. Blood gushed out from Ymir's corpse in unimaginable quantities. Fountains of blood, as salt as the sea, and as gravy as the ocean, or as gray as the oceans, gushed out in a flood so sudden, so powerful, and so deep that it swept away and drowned all the giants. Only one giant, Bergelmer, Ymir's grandson, and his wife survived by clambering on to a wooden box which bore them like a boat, and all the giants we see and we fear today are descended from them. Odin and his brothers made the soil from Ymir's flesh. Ymir's bones they piled up into the mountains and cliffs. Our rocks and pebbles and the sand and gravel you see, these were Ymir's teeth, and the fragments of bone that were broken and crushed by Odin and Vili and V in their battle with Ymir. The seas that girdle the world, these were Ymir's blood and sweat. Look up into the sky, and you are looking inside of Ymir's skull. The stars that you see in the night, the planets, all the comets, the shooting stars, these are the sparks that flew up from the fires of Muspel. And the clouds that you see by day, these were once Ymir's brains.
Oh, shit, son.
And who knows of what thoughts they are thinking even now.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I've never once thought, like, what are those clouds thinking?
Next, I have to disclaim this next statement. The Meat Sweats podcast does not support the views of Norse mythology.
I think Norse mythology is pretty badass.
The world is a flat disc.
I mean, if it's there.
It's not.
If
not.
If it's in that book.
Meat Sweats does not support the flat earth. YouTube do not take our video away.
As the descendant of these Nordic gods, I guess I believe that the earth is flat now. Who would have fucking thought that that's all it would take? Shit. L'chaim, grandfather.
The world is a flat disc, and the sea that encircles the perimeter, Giants live at the edge of the world, beside the deepest seas. To keep giants at bay, Odin, Vili, and V made a wall from Ymir's eyelashes around the middle of the world.
Fuck yeah.
They called the place within Midgard. Midgard was empty. The lands were beautiful, but nobody walked the meadows or fished the clear waters. Nobody explored the Rocky Mountains or stared up at the clouds. Odin, Vili, and V knew that a world is not a world unless it's inhabited. They wandered high and low looking for people, and they found nothing. At last, on the rocky shingle at the edge of the sea, they found 2 logs, sea-tossed, that had floated here on the tides and had been cast ashore. The first log was a log of ash wood. The ash tree is resilient and handsome, and its roots go deep.
Deep. So deep, put that ass to sleep.
Deep roots. Its wood carves well and will not split or crack. Ash makes a good tool handle or shaft of a spear or dildo.
Whoa. Probably not.
I mean, that's what it says.
Doesn't say dildo.
It says dildo.
It doesn't say or dildo. Show it to me now. Fucking liar.
Why?
Because you're a liar.
You don't believe me?
No.
Why not?
Because of the way you were like, or dildo.
It would make a good dildo. It doesn't splinter.
It would splinter.
It doesn't. It says it will not splinter crack.
It will splinter. If you stick it in your vagina, it's gonna splinter.
Ladies,
a
dildo of ash is the way to go.
Don't stick ash wood in your vagina. Don't stick wood in your vagina.
The second,
but I feel like you know this. I feel like you learned this long before.
No, you can.
I came along was like, don't stick wood in your vagina.
Just make sure it's well varnished. The second log they found beside the first on the beach, was so close to the first. Speaking of logs.
Man, I had such a good one like last night. I was sitting on my computer like playing games and just like I just slowly let it out. I don't even know how I did it. It just must have been the way I was sitting, but it was a good 15 seconds in which I was just like crying laughing as it was happening. It was fantastic. It was one of those I was like, man, I wish I would have recorded that and sent it to somebody.
Some people love to burp into the mic and stuff on
Yeah.
on their show.
Yeah.
I think we need to start a tradition of farting during the episode.
Oh, I've decided I don't care anymore. I'm burping. I'm farting.
I prefer if you don't burp.
I'm gonna burp. So if you want to get me a burp screen, you better, because gases are coming out of all of my holes.
You're gonna give me coronavirus.
I'm hoping so.
Ugh. Okay. Jesus Christ, where the fuck am I?
Don't put wood in your vagina. I think
Don't
was the
put-
last
okay.
thing. No
This-
ash in the vagina was the last thing we read.
The second log they found, beside the first log on the beach, was so close to the first log they were almost touching. The log was of elm wood. The elm tree is graceful, but its wood is hard enough to be made into the toughest planks and beams, and you can build a fine home or hall from elm wood. See? I'll accept that type of burp. You burp off to the side of the mic.
No, you burp right into
No,
it.
you give me a little courtesy.
You let this beautiful microphone catch all that burpy
It's
goodness.
new. It's new.
You gotta fucking break it in
expensive.
somehow.
It's expensive.
Don't worry, I'm working on a couple.
The gods took the two logs. They set the logs so they were upright on the sand and the height of people. Odin held one of them, and one by one he breathed life into them. No longer were they dead logs on the beach. Now they were alive. Vili gave them will. He gave them intelligence and drive. Now they could move, and they could want. V carved the logs. He gave them the shape of people. He carved their ears that they might hear, their eyes that they might see, and lips that they might speak.
Dicks that they might fuck.
Definitely carved some dicks bigger than others.
He did. That's unfortunate. Like,
There should be a standard issue dick.
yeah, like, don't make us all insecure about the sizes of our dicks.
Right? Just one
size,
One
that's it.
size dick.
One size.
Just everybody's happy. Everybody's like, okay, he's got this.
Everyone's just
he's
like-
got the standard issue 6.
Everyone's just like, that's just what a dick is.
Yeah.
It's just that big.
It's the way it should be, but it's not.
It's unfair.
Not all men are created equal.
No, certainly not.
Okay. Right here.
Dicks.
The
carving
two
dicks.
logs stood on the beach. 2 naked people. V had carved one with male genitals, and the other he had carved female.
Fuck yeah, dude.
He should have carved tits bigger.
I've seen some pretty
They gotta
well
fucking
carved tits.
You gotta fix a lot of those. Also, just a bit of a side note.
What?
I mean, we can make boobs big. We can't make dicks bigger. That just supports the
Not yet.
generic dick size.
I just want to say something to all the women who always say, if men have periods, they would fix it immediately. Listen, we've been battling with this dick thing forever. Since we've had dicks, we've been like, how do we get these
since
things
this fucking
to be
douchebag carved
bigger?
us.
How do we make bigger dicks? And to this day, we still haven't figured it out. So stop putting faith in us to do anything correctly. Because if we were going to do anything, like, we would have figured out how to make huge functioning dicks.
Yeah.
Whether or not they could go into vaginas, we wouldn't care.
No.
Just as long as it was huge.
Giant.
Huge, and it could
Have
come
you seen
and, like, it would be
have
great.
you seen how big dudes make their pickups or
Exactly.
swords or battle
Exactly.
axes or
Exactly.
fucking anything?
Computers, even? Jesus
Anything.
Christ. Yeah. That's why we've put
Dick.
all
they
this...
want to do the dick.
We've put all
can't.
this dick energy into all these other things because we're just like, the science is not there. We can't do it. We've been working forever trying to make these dicks bigger, more functional. Not happening. Let's fucking go to space. Maybe we'll find someone in space who has that magic dickness.
Big dick energy. Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying. I just need to set the people straight on
I know
some
I
things.
got you. Okay. The 3 brothers made clothes for the woman
That's
and
the
the
word you were
man.
struggling with?
No, I just needed to find my place. Go fuck yourself.
Just, hey.
Okay. The 3 brothers made clothes for the women and men to cover themselves, to keep them warm, in the chilly sea spray on the beach at the edge of the world. Last of all, they gave the 2 people they had made names. The man they called Ask, or ash tree. The woman they called Embla, or elm. Ask and Embla were the father and mother of all of us. Every human being owes their life to its parents and the parents before them. Go far back, and the ancestors of each of us were Ask and Embla. Embla and Ask stayed in Midgard, safe behind the wall the gods had made from Ymir's eyelashes. In Midgard, they would make their homes, protected from giants and monsters and all the dangers that waited in the wastes. In Midgard, they could raise their children in peace. That is why Odin is called the All-Father, because he was the father of the gods, because he breathed the breath of life into our grandparents and grandparents' grandparents and grandparents' grandparents. Whether we are gods or mortals, Odin is the father of us all.
Watching you read like that is like watching a grandma like trying to write a check, you know? It's like, I just can't quite see it. Okay.
And thus concludes our first chapter.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Do I get to read something to you next time?
If you want to.
Just whatever I want?
Whatever you want. I'm going to keep reading this to you.
I'm gonna read some good shit to you.
You can bring a story on and
Yeah.
we'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
And we'll have like a dueling story series.
Yeah.
For a while.
I'm gonna read straight smut.
That's fine. If you guys want to
filth.
message Matt or I on something you'd like us to read, he's definitely going to be a better reader than I am. But if even like fan fiction, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
Obviously, we don't care about monetization on this channel. We just like doing what we do.
Except for go to thebeardstruggle.com and get you some beard products. Like, look at this beard right now. Like, oh man, it was so unhealthy, and now it's so smooth and it feels good.
It's
and
so
enter
smooth.
code MC Walker for 15% off your order today.
Do that so that Matt can actually, pay for stuff.
Still not gonna pay for anything.
He's not, but
No.
he might bring more Mr. Pineapple,
I
which will
probably-
keep this alive.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and take care.
Click that bell.
For the love of God, be safe.
Mean sweats, motherfucking mean sweats, mean sweats,